Okay, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to have a little bit of a different focus. So today we're going to be putting together or building the Des Test Max switch. I've already printed a case for this, which once we finish putting it together, we will plug it in there. And this is basically for testing the Commodore computers. Okay, so I think there's the 64, the 128, and a few other things. But we'll go through the manual later. What have we got in the thing? It shouldn't be a particularly big build. Oh, look at that. My socket was there. A nice board here. And obviously this is from the American Retro Shop. And I do have a Retro Chip Tester Professional. I'll put a link to the video in the description of when I built that. But yes, first things first. What have we got? We have some jumpers, some resistors, a few pins, a couple more resistors, a switch, and some LEDs. And then we have some boards, circuit boards, and some chips. Okie dokie. Oh, and a couple of capacitors. It doesn't really seem to have a lot of information on putting it together, to be honest. These seem to be more operating instructions. Okay. Let's just put that to one side. First things first. Let's give this board a clean before we get started. So basically just some isopropyl alcohol. I'm just gonna give it a bit of a squirt. Then a wipe over with these cloths. Just really want to make sure we get any grease that off of it before we get started. Maybe a bit of something on there. I do these in a little while. I'm just going to put them to one side. We have a bunch of resistors here, capacitors, so jumpers. So actually, while we're here, why not? More for fun than anything else. I literally got this the other day. There's a component tester. While we're doing this, let's test this component tester and see how good that is, shall we? All right, so we need to start with power and reset. So we've got a couple of LEDs in here and a switch and a couple of these resistors. So let's just test these and see what they come out like. They should be 390 ohms, but we can test that just to prove it. I'm expecting they will be without any issues at all. Actually working. No. Oh, test in progress. Okay, let's try that again. Not sure that this will actually test these either. An LCR, so it'd be interesting. No, there we go. Resistor. You can see that? Don't know, maybe I wasn't getting a good connection on that, but that's all right. All right, let's tweezers. Just a neat way of bending over the legs. I know. Like to have them sit reasonably. Okay, so we have another one in here, which goes on the other side. And then we should have 4 10Ks in this pack, I believe. Don't know if there's any specific order you're supposed to build these out, but so these should be 10K. Shall we test it just to see? I'm just playing with this at the moment. There we go. Yep, so that's fine. Not that I was expecting it to be anything different. More just a new toy. Oh, let's just bend those legs out a bit so we can get some. Right, let's solder those in. Just move these over here for the moment, so I'll bring my soldering iron over. That on. No. Okay, so we have, as you can see, my iron there. It's currently sitting on a 216 degrees. I have a standard tip on it, and I have some, obviously, some solder here. I will put a dab of flux on this. Got to be careful with this one. That for some reason the tip on this keeps coming up. Not really sure why. But I'm just going to put a dab, just a really small amount. There we go. That. That's tight. I'm just using some mechanic lead solder for this. Nothing overly fancy on this. So, okay. And push this in all the way. Press this and do it and it all out. No, no, that's going to be all the way. Come on, that's it. Yeah, that's going in there. That's got a nibble in it. Let me just grab some tweezers there. Good. You go with this. Yeah, there we go. Neatish. Yeah, pull the other side a little bit. Hmm. That one really didn't want to sit down too well. Hmm. Okay, awkward. Let's try and convince it not to be so awkward. Yeah. Well, no, we need to do this. But, yeah, better. The rest of them are saying pretty well right. So we're just making that look a little bit more than it needs to be. Yeah, it's a bit more. Hmm. I may have to put that on a little while. Yeah, that's fine. Let's wind this off, shall we? I've got a heap of these got resistor legs, which I've kept for fixing up joints and things like that, should I need them down the track. So I don't think I'll keep these today. I'll just give this a little bit of a clean up. We'll give the board a good clean when we finish, but it doesn't hurt. Give it a bit of a clean as we go, does it? All right. LEDs. I don't suppose it matters, but just so we can show you. So LED. All right. All right. So should really install these. So then for the lead there, or leg, as you want to call it, anode and cathode. Longer one is anode. Yep. I had to think there for a second. So the short one is the cathode. Anode being positive. We just follow that convention, which is actually the same convention that we got on the board. You can see that. So let's just follow that convention. And what else have we got in here? We have a switch, which will be in here. Let's just get them stuck down first. So I am going to fall back to a bit around there somewhere. And all the trick here, just to hold these in way too much. Just stop them falling out when I go turn over. Look. Let's get the switch in. Only because we're working in this corner, so it looks quite positive. I'm just going to switch this on because it gets a bit. Sorry about the noise, guys. But definitely getting a bit smoky there. That's that. Make sure. Yeah. So yeah, 91 picofarad. So that's as close as we need to get, I think. 100 picofarad. There we go. Okay. So we go into here. We have some headers. So that's a 3-pin one there. And a 2-pin and another 3-pin. And then we have little books there. Right. So we've got one here, one here, and there should be one. Oh, what's your fingers? One here. All right. Now, before I go any further, I'm just going to give this a bit of a clean again. Definitely got butterfingers today, guys. Should have some IC ports here. Just drop in like so. Don't want to get it over that hole. Remember, there's a notch out of this that always faces towards pin 1. So my standard way of doing this is to tack a foot at each end. So. So. Then what I'll do is put my finger on it and just make sure it's all the way down. Then I can come back and do the rest. I actually saw these test boards originally on a YouTube channel called More Fun Fixing Things. I'll put a link to that in the description. Yeah, it's a gentleman over in the UK that does a lot of Sinclair type stuff, as well as a heap of Commodore type gear. I think he's done other stuff as well, but that's what I've seen on his channel. Very, very good. Very informative. How they get hot. I'm not sure there's a right or wrong way to do these. Guess it's whatever way works for you. I don't know. Well, please comment in the channel if you think there's a better way of doing these. Right. Kind of down to the last one. I might just give this a bit of a clean again. Might be a bit excessive with the cleaning, but it's just the way I do it. Then we have the big fella here. Bit of a pin there. There we go. A little more blue tack. Just to hold him in place. That should be level now. Or flat to the board, I should say. Take our chip here and insert that. Oops. Let's just make sure we get it in right. Not going down quite as we would expect or like. No, I didn't think that was in. Whatever you do, don't put it in backwards. Going in properly. This one here, just this leg here, just refusing to go in properly. Right on the verge of I think we might have got it. Yep, we got it. Wow, that was far harder than it needed to be. These ones here look like they're going to go in all right. Yeah, that's fine. Just that one for some reason. I've got to be honest. Probably a more operator rather than it is anything else. I just really dislike these type of sockets. I much prefer. I mean, this one's got some breaks and this has got a pin out of it, but I much prefer these sockets. A lot. Just, I don't know. They're just, to me, they're better. Anyway, so a bit of PCB cleaner in there. Nope. You want to take the stuff off the top there. A little bit of isopropyl and a cotton bud. All I'm doing here is just giving it a bit of a clean. All right, folks. That's another successful operation here in the clinic. The Des Test Max switch is now assembled and ready for duty. If your Commodore is feeling a bit under the weather, this little diagnostic cartridge could well be the answer to finding the cure. Remember, no patient is too old, no circuit is too stubborn, and no RAM is too dodgy for a proper checkup. If you enjoyed today's procedure, please feel free to give that like button a gentle poke. Not too hard, we don't want to short it out. And please subscribe for more repairs, retro rescues, mods and mischief in future episodes. Until next time, keep your soldering irons hot, your voltage steady, and your humour slightly statically charged. This is the Device Doctor signing off.